As you age past 60, the first hour after waking up is far more critical than you might think, especially when it comes to kidney health. Here is why. Starting in your 30s, kidney function begins a slow and steady decline. However, after age 60, that rate of decline can accelerate. According to some research on renal aging, the filtering capacity of the kidneys, which removes waste products from the blood, can decrease by up to 10% every decade after age 60. This means every single food choice you make has a much greater impact on your health than it did in your 40s or 50s. And this is most important during breakfast time. Think about what a typical breakfast looks like for most people. White toast, sugary cereal, pastries, and a glass of juice. These are high glycemic foods that cause blood sugar to spike rapidly. When this rapid fluctuation in blood sugar repeats day after day, month after month, and year after year, a state of chronic inflammation develops throughout the entire body. The kidneys, which filter about 130 liters, 50 gallons of blood every single day, are heavily affected by this inflammation. Over time, this breakfast pattern can place silent stress on the very organs that play a crucial role in keeping your blood clean and maintaining physical balance. Now, contrast that with a different kind of breakfast, one composed of foods that stabilize blood sugar, reduce oxidative stress, and supply the raw materials your kidneys need to repair and protect themselves. Let's take a closer look at 5 breakfasts backed by various research studies that genuinely help support kidney health. We will cover how each food works in our bodies, the scientific evidence behind them, and how to prepare them correctly. This is especially important if you need to manage your potassium intake, as some foods change dramatically in effectiveness depending on how they are cooked. Shall we start with the first food? First food, rolled oats. Oatmeal has been a breakfast staple for generations, but the reason it makes this list is a specific type of fiber called beta-glucan. Beta-glucan is a soluble fiber that dissolves in water to form a gel-like substance in the digestive tract. This gel slows down the rate at which post-meal blood sugar is absorbed into the bloodstream, helping to prevent the blood sugar spikes mentioned earlier. When blood sugar stabilizes, inflammatory stress on blood vessels, particularly the microscopic blood vessels inside the kidneys where filtration actually takes place, is reduced. These claims are supported by several clinical studies. A study published in 2020 in the Journal of Renal Nutrition gave daily oat beta-glucan supplements for 12 weeks to adults with chronic kidney disease, average age around 67. The researchers measured levels of a compound known as TMAO, a uremic toxin. TMAO is a waste product that healthy kidneys should excrete, but it accumulates when kidney function is impaired. The study found that participants' TMAO levels decreased by an average of 17%. Meanwhile, a study published in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition investigated the effects of oat beta-glucan on kidney function in an animal model of diabetic kidney damage. According to this study, beta-glucan reduced inflammatory markers and improved kidney function, an effect likely achieved in part by improving gut microbiome balance. Since the gut and kidneys are much more closely connected than most people realize, we will revisit this connection later in the video. In addition to beta-glucan, oats contain a unique antioxidant compound called avenanthamides, which are found almost exclusively in oats. These compounds help neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells through a process called oxidative stress. Nephrons, the filtering units of the kidneys, are particularly vulnerable to this damage over time. making antioxidants at breakfast a meaningful daily habit. One important preparation tip: use regular rolled oats or steel-cut oats, not instant or flavored oatmeal. Flavored oatmeal contains excessive added sodium and sugar, which harms all the health benefits described earlier. Cook your oats in water or a low-phosphorus plant-based milk and add natural sweetness with fruit. This leads naturally to our third food. But first, let's talk about protein. Second food, whole eggs and egg whites. The quality of protein varies greatly, which has a massive impact on kidney health. Nutritionists use a metric called biological value, BV, to describe how efficiently our bodies can utilize the protein contained in a specific food. Egg protein has a biological value of 100, the highest of any whole food. For comparison, the BV of red meat is about 74. Practically speaking, this means when you consume eggs, your body uses almost all of the protein for tissue repair and maintenance, leaving very few nitrogenous waste products for the kidneys to filter out and excrete. Lower quality proteins leave behind more waste, forcing the kidneys to work harder. This isn't just theoretical. A study published by DaVita's kidney nutrition program showed that when hemodialysis patients replaced their usual protein sources with liquid egg whites, participants maintained favorable levels of albumin, a key indicator of a nutritional status, while simultaneously lowering their phosphorus levels. This is because egg whites are extremely low in phosphorus compared to yolks. A separate analysis showed that a single egg white supplies about 0.4 milligrams of acid to the kidneys, whereas the yolk supplies about 4 milligrams. In other words, egg whites significantly reduce the acid burden placed on the kidneys. Beyond protein quality, eggs, especially the whites, contain the antioxidant selenium, which strengthens the body's natural defense systems against oxidative stress, while choline plays a crucial role in maintaining the structural integrity of cell membranes throughout the body, including kidney tissue. When cooking eggs, poached or boiled eggs are softer and healthier than frying them in butter, as they reduce unnecessary saturated fat intake. Furthermore, seasoning with herbs, pepper, and lemon juice instead of salt helps lower sodium intake, which is great for your kidneys. Third food, blueberries. There is a fact most people overlook. While you sleep for 7 to 8 hours, oxidative stress and free radicals accumulate in your body, especially in kidney tissue. This means the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking up are a critical time to clear out the oxidative stress and free radicals that built up overnight, and blueberries are one of the most effective foods for this job. Blueberries are extremely rich in compounds called anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue-purple color. These pigments do more than just look nice. According to a study published in PLOS One, rats fed a blueberry-rich diet showed a significant reduction in renal fibrosis, scarring of kidney tissue, and improved markers of oxidative stress in the kidneys. Another study in the same journal found that in a metabolic syndrome animal model, a blueberry-rich diet improved kidney function and reduced protein leakage into the urine, albuminuria. To be clear, these studies are primarily based on animal experiments, so we cannot conclusively state that the exact same effects apply to humans. However, the fundamental mechanism by which anthocyanins reduce oxidative stress and inflammation is well established in nutritional science, and for most people, incorporating blueberries into a regular diet is practically side effect free. Beyond their specific effects on kidney health, blueberries are associated with protecting small blood vessels throughout the body, including the microcapillaries of the kidneys, and some studies note they also support urinary tract health. Tossing a generous half cup of fresh or frozen blueberries into your oatmeal provides plenty of anthocyanins while making your breakfast taste much better. Fourth food, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, a nutrient of particular importance to the cells lining the renal filtration tubules. Beta-carotene is converted into vitamin A in the body. Vitamin A plays a vital role in maintaining the health of epithelial cells, specialized cells covering internal surfaces throughout the body, including the renal tubules, where the kidneys reabsorb nutrients and water after filtering the blood. Sweet potatoes also contain vitamin C, the mineral manganese, and a compound called chlorogenic acid, all of which help strengthen antioxidant activity and reduce cellular stress caused by blood sugar fluctuations. Here is an important warning. If you're monitoring your potassium intake, please read this part carefully. A single medium-sized sweet potato contains about 500 milligrams of potassium. For most people with normal kidney function, this is not an issue at all. However, if your kidney function is impaired or your doctor has told you to restrict potassium intake, this matters. Because inefficient kidneys cannot filter out potassium properly, a buildup of excess potassium can affect your heart rhythm. Fortunately, there is a cooking method that helps reduce potassium content. Peeling the sweet potato, cutting it into small pieces, and boiling it in a large amount of water. Research on potato cooking methods shows that boiling cut pieces significantly reduces potassium content, with some studies showing reductions of about 1/3 to half depending on piece size and boiling time. This same principle applies to sweet potatoes. If you are personally concerned about potassium intake, optimal intake levels vary depending on kidney function and medications, so it is best to consult your doctor or a renal dietitian. For breakfast, boiled and diced sweet potatoes can be stored in the refrigerator for a few days, so preparing them once lets you use them throughout the week. Fifth food, plain Greek yogurt. The final food brings us back to the gut-kidney connection we mentioned earlier, the gut-kidney axis. The connection works like this. When the balance of gut bacteria is disrupted, researchers call this gut microbial dysbiosis. Certain bacteria produce compounds that are absorbed into the bloodstream and eventually eliminated through the kidneys. Among these compounds, indoxyl sulfate and p-cresyl sulfate are known as uremic toxins, and higher levels are associated with a faster decline in kidney function. This is where probiotics play a vital role. Plain Greek yogurt contains live, beneficial bacteria primarily from the Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium families. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, analyzing multiple clinical trials, found that supplementing chronic kidney disease patients with these probiotic strains significantly reduced serum levels of indoxyl sulfate and p-cresyl sulfate. Additionally, a separate laboratory study using a specific probiotic strain, Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, showed it helped slow the rate of kidney function decline and reduce inflammatory markers in an animal model of chronic kidney disease. Beyond probiotic benefits, plain Greek yogurt is a high biological value protein source, similar to eggs, and most importantly, it is free of the sodium and added phosphate additives found in many processed foods. The word plain is key here. Store-bought sweetened yogurts often contain as much sugar as candy, completely offsetting the blood sugar stabilization benefits you'd get from oatmeal and having the opposite effect. Therefore, choose unsweetened plain Greek yogurt, and if you want sweetness, add fresh fruit directly, like the blueberries introduced in our third food. Weekly rotation and conclusion. So how can you turn all of this into a realistic daily routine? Here is a simple 7-day meal plan that utilizes all 5 foods without repeating the same breakfast 2 days in a row. Monday, oatmeal topped with blueberries. Wednesday, plain Greek yogurt mixed with blueberries. Thursday, oatmeal made with plain yogurt instead of milk, topped with berries. Friday, boiled eggs paired with sweet potato. Saturday, a parfait layered with plain yogurt, oatmeal, and blueberries. Sunday, any combination of the 5 that you feel like having that morning. The most important takeaway is this: a single healthy breakfast or just one day of good eating will not completely transform your kidney health. What truly matters is consistent management over months and years. The research on beta-glucans, protein quality, anthocyanins, beta-carotene, and gut bacteria all points to the same truth. Small, daily, consistent dietary habits add up to meaningfully protect the kidneys, which work extraordinarily hard for our bodies every single day, often without us even realizing it. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe. You won't want to miss upcoming videos introducing science-based ways to support healthy aging. Also, if you have kidney disease or specific dietary restrictions, be sure to consult your doctor or a professional dietitian before making major changes to your diet. The content of this video is for educational purposes, and dietary adjustments may be needed based on individual circumstances. May you start your day in a way that genuinely supports your kidney health. Remember, your health is the most important thing. Stay healthy.